I'm keeping this particular commentary short and sweet because there are other things I have to work on, including another commentary. But today's February the 17th, 2021, which means that today is the first anniversary of this channel. It wasn't originally called American Social Democracy, but it was about social democracy, is about social democracy, and will remain about social democracy. And some call it socialism, some call it democratic socialism. I simply call it common sense. This channel was initially started to find an online way to help with the Bernie Sanders 2020 campaign, which unfortunately did not transpire the way many of us wanted it to transpire. Except that, Trump is gone. We're glad of that part, but we didn't really get too much of an improvement with Joe Biden. However, just because the 2020 campaign primary is over didn't mean that this channel had to be over. We have a mission, and we have a mission for various things to bring back unions, make unions strong in this country again, make unions the catalyst for social change. As said it many times before, the Nordic countries, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, places like Finland, most of these countries have pretty much 90% plus higher of unions in the workforce. And it's no accident that they have the highest standard of living in the world. Um, we need to sit there and fight for universal health care, something that's better than the Affordable Care Act. And at a minimum, I would say Medicare for all, like they have in Canada, and ultimately the UK National Health Service, which is actually the most socialized healthcare system in the Western world today. So these are things that we need to fight for. We also need to fight for racial equality to heal these wounds that seem to have reared its ugly head in the last few years. The old racism seemed to be making a comeback, and there are very divisive forces out there that wants to keep people against each other. And I want this channel also to suggest that there's a better way. Um, to quote, what's his name? Gosh, well, I'm not going to quote anybody right now. I'm kind of tired. But the point is that we need to fight for equality across the board, racial equality, gender equality, equality when it comes to sexual orientation. Just being a human being entitles each and every individual to equality, to strive for civil liberties, which means to fight for freedom of speech, including a speech that we find most offensive, because when we cheerlead people that we don't like, when their speech is taken away from them, mark my words, it ends up coming back to attack us on the left. So we need to be on principle standing for freedom of speech, freedom of the press. We need to stand for right to privacy, against cruel and unusual punishment, which means abolishing the death penalty. Again, another issue that's seldom overlooked in this day and age, but honestly, it's one of the biggest human rights issues, probably aside from healthcare being available for everybody in the United States. We need to abolish the death penalty, and this is what this channel is about. Um, this channel stands for non-aggression. That means a pro-peace foreign policy, which means no more neocon wars. And we can have a debate on how much of a pacifist you want to be. Do you want to be an absolute pacifist? You're welcome here. You're amongst friends. If you're a relative pacifist, and by relative pacifist, I mean that you only believe in defense, you only believe in use of force for defensive purpose, welcome here. But where we will not stand for is preemptive military invasions of other countries, um, neocon warmongering, and nation building and regime change wars. That non-interventionism is the best way when it comes to foreign policy. We stand for that here. Um, Environmentalism, global warming exists, and we need to stand to see that there is a Green New Deal in the United States, and we need to see to it that eventually every country around the world use safe, renewable energy that's going to save our planet and not jeopardize the standard of living of people around the world. It can be done. In the words of former Mayor Frank Zeidler, the socialist mayor of Milwaukee, 1948 to 1960, who was the 1976 Socialist Party USA candidate for president, he talks about a federal cooperative commonwealth, basically a community of people who works together to make a better world, and that's what it's all about. And as an American social democrat, I believe in documents like the U.S. Constitution. I believe in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights by the United Nations, and the Frankfurt Declaration by the Socialist International. SI being the Worldwide Federation of Democratic Socialists, Social Democratic, and Labor parties. And all of these values in a homegrown American socialist tradition, ranging from the days of the presidential campaigns of Eugene Victor Debs, 1900 to 1920, and Norman Thomas, 1928 to 1940, and Bernie Sanders, 2016 and in 2020. This is what we stand for. The American counterpart of a very successful, otherwise successful movement abroad that has brought positive changes for their society. And I want this channel here so I can find my roundabout way of contributing to having America become a better society as well. If you like what you heard, press like and comment. If you didn't agree, comment anyway. Share the content on this channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you, to create your own platform and utilize it because we're the muckrakers of our time. Subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell. And until next time, I am American Social Democracy. Peace, and let's fight or struggle and organize for a social democratic America.